Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chance of a Lifetime Coaching. This is Conversations with Carolyn, and we're glad to be back at our regular scheduled time at 6:30, and we're so excited to have our handsome, illustrious guest with us today. I have with us today, and I'm really, really grateful. I can call him blood. He's my cousin. He's Ira Harvey Jr. And we're talking today. We're going to talk about celebrating our young people that are beating the odds. I want to say hello, Ira. You want to say hello before we get started?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right. Thank you, Ira. Ira is a native of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I know many of you, just like myself, we see segments in the news, segment on social media, everywhere about so much going on in Milwaukee. If it's not, gun slinging, drug slinging, people just acting very outraged, and that's in all parts of the world actually. But simply because Ira is a native of Milwaukee, lived, born and raised there, right there in Milwaukee, and has decided to make Milwaukee his home for now. We wanted to just spotlight some great things of youth, young people that are truly making great things happen in spite of what the media might say. So we want to say hello to Ira Harvey Jr. He is our youngster tonight who's making real change. He's using his power, creating a phenomenal community enriched with love, energy, and spiritual involvement for many to glean from. Ira is a model. He's an artist, and his favorite genres it's rap music, pop music, and I think he's going to talk about how he integrate everything into a little bit of anything. But he is an artist, and his artist name is Nay and I. And he is a model. Yes, he electrifies the runway, and he's known there as Ira Harvey. So, hello, cousin. Hello, Ira. How are you?
I'm doing real good. Real good.
Okay, we want to thank you for joining Conversations with Carolyn. Thanks for accepting the invite. So, I've given a brief bio of who you are. We have many followers out there. So, why don't you tell them what you want them to know about who you are right now?
My name is Ira Harvey, like my cousin said, and I'm really happy to be here. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I grew up really loving arts, growing up loving to be in theater, and that was just like my dream as a kid. So I just was really pursued that really growing up, and that's really it. I
All
really
right,
like.
so how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 23 years old.
Okay, 23 years old. So, what was your childhood like growing up in Milwaukee?
My childhood, it was pretty good. I would say first growing up, all the way until graduating middle school, I was in the urban area, all the urban like middle school and elementary school, and it was great growing up and seeing how that like the urban life really it is. And then when I moved to high school, I went to like a predominantly like white private high school, and then just to see how that really was, and just to integrate both to just see how everything like plays out in both areas, it just gives you a broader sight to see how the world really could be and can and is. And
And so, how did that impact your move to where you are now?
I would say it really shaped the way it moved me more this way. My middle school I went to was an arts middle school, and I like began to like plays there. I was in band, choir, extracurricular activities, and then I went on to high school to do the same thing: band, choir, musicals. And back then, I really didn't take it as serious. Like, oh, maybe let me go model, let me go do this. But it's always just been in the back of my head. And so, like when I graduated, I'm like, I'm about to really go for this. I'm gonna go for it. I really like doing it. It's more than just a paycheck or money or just like for looks. I genuinely love doing it.
Wow, wonderful. And you do have the looks. It's in our genes, but yes, you. But but Ira, tell us. I'm sure my audience would like to know. When did you realize? When did you know? When was that discovery aha moment that I want to go into theater? I heard you say you theater and the arts, but when did you know? What was it that made you realize you were gravitating to that medium?
I would say when I did my very first play in middle school, like it was just like a different experience. Like the people you be around and just the arts itself, they're very just different individuals, but they're fun to be around. They always have great energy, and I love the production of it as well. Like so my first play, just seeing how everything was put together, all the rehearsals, all the plays, and then getting the final result, and just feeling great in that moment. That made me just want to do it, keep doing it.
Wonderful, wonder. It almost sounds like you found your frequency there. You found that place where you felt like, okay, I can groove and be all
Yes.
right. This is a place where I am. If I needed to make a decision, a life altering, life changing decision, I could make that decision if I could feel the way that you felt when you finished that first play.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, what about your parents? When you um, introduced this idea to your parents, what type of support? What was their reaction? And what was it like growing up? Whether you're in a one-parent home, two-parent home, what was that like?
So I grew up in a two-parent home with my mom and my dad. And um when I first brought it to their attention that I wanted to do something like this, well, I feel like this is a lot of like people first reaction is just like, are you serious? Like this is just such a big dream. Like it's just something that you just don't see possible. So I would say it wasn't like the best support, but it was the support was there still. The support
Okay.
was there still.
And you have a sister, so what does she have to say about it?
she she basically would just tell me like, just if I really think I could do it and I like feel like I can do it, go for it. Like don't wait, just go for it.
So the support was there, and we know in
Mhm.
everything that we do, support is everything,
It is.
everything. So talk about your music. You talk about your music. You're into modeling. Take us down the runway first, and then take us. Oh, which came first, the modeling or the music, or
The modeling.
the mod? Okay, so let's talk about the modeling. How did that come about?
Okay. So one day I was just in the car and I'm thinking, I'm like, what? I was with my friend. We were thinking, like, what can we do? Like, we really want to model. We really want to do this. So we just really set a time aside where we just look for photographers. And we were just like, we just gonna message all these photographers, just do photo shoots with them, just keep getting better with the photo shoot, get comfortable in front of the camera. So we start doing that. And then the networking, that's where that come in. So we start to just meet people like, oh, yeah, you can come do this event with us. Oh, you can do this. What's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? And it led me to be in, it's a group called the Milwaukee's Models Group. And they just put different like great opportunities, fashion shows, everything into this one group chat. So just being there, seeing everything they will post, like, oh, a fashion call is coming up. So I'm like, okay, let me get ready for this fashion show call. I'm in my room looking up videos, like how you walk like this. So we after I'll say my first year, I got in my first runway show. That was really fun. It was a really different experience. I really didn't do runway at all. That was my like very first one. I'm like, oh my gosh. It turned out great. A lot of people came. I had fun, and it just I feel like it was a great experience for the first one. Um, then just it just kept coming after that. Every show I would see them posts, I would just go to audition, hoping I can make it. Every day practicing my model walk. And I did this crazy thing. Like I know people gonna be like, what? But I would watch American Next Top Model with Tyra Banks. And like she really give great tips on how to be a good model. I feel like people don't take it as serious because it's a reality TV show.
Okay.
But the tips she was giving, and if you apply that to what you do every day and just like practice, you don't even have to practice for hours. I would just practice 30 minutes. I can just walk to my room to the kitchen. Let me just model walk this little thing. That's a little practice right there.
Right.
So that's how really modeling like just like came about. I just kept just applying the things. People send requests like if I want to do anything. I'm like, yeah, I'll be able to help or be able to just do it because this is really fun.
Wonderful. So I'm looking at you, and I'm seeing all the energy that you have in just talking about your modeling experience, and I can only imagine that energy kind of exuberated on the runways and whenever you get into that particular atmosphere. So when you were modeling, Did you at any moment feel like this is it? This is all I'm going to do? Or where did you see that modeling taking you?
Um, well, doing during it, at first I was just doing it like not for fun, like because I always had the bigger goal in mind, but I just really start taking it serious probably like after the
Okay.
second show I did. I'm like, okay, I really want to take this far. Like, I want to be able to sign to an agency and live off of this. Like, not like go to work every day. I want to be able to live off being a model, being an actor, all of
Okay.
this.
Okay. And so how long did you, I think you said about a year into your modeling, you received your first runway. So where are you now? What are you doing within that? How long did it take you to get to where, I don't know, I'm not going to say success because success is different for everyone, but how long did it take you to get to where you felt like, oh, I got this, and then be able to set your eyes on something else? And where are you now in your modeling career?
I would say that was recent. Recent. Feeling like I would say it about last year in my
Okay.
second year of doing it. I would say in the midway, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm comfortable enough to be like, I got this. Like, I'm finna set my mind on this show. I know I got this show. Like, it's nothing gonna stop me. And my mindset now, I'm just, I would say, now I'm at the point where I don't care what really anyone say about anything. I'm at like, I know I'm gonna do this. My mind is set to this, and I don't care. Like, I'm ready for whatever. I'm just, and I want to go start applying to agencies more, just get my face more known out there. So that's why I'm at right now.
Wonderful. It almost sounds like you've already implemented the law of attraction. You've already implemented this amazing self confidence. And so that would be a question that I would like for you to answer for someone that's out there. You are highly engaged in what you do. You have this awesome persona. But what about a person who wants to do something like you're doing and wasn't able to strategize with the steps that you've already taken? And then how do you keep that confidence? Because I'm sure, and tell us about, were there any rejections? How did you handle conflicts as you got started and continue to move in that particular industry?
So I would say for someone just starting out, it is gonna be hard to take critiques. It's gonna be hard because the industry is really mean. Like, let's just fly out. A lot of people are like really mean. So going in with the confidence, you don't care what they think. You don't care because
Hmm.
you're doing this for you. You're doing this because this is genuinely what makes you happy, not what makes them happy. Because people are gonna hate no matter what.
Absolutely.
So just believe in yourself, and that's all you need is yourself to believe in. You, the support will come when you believe more in yourself and don't care what no one else thinks. Um, and you,
Wonderful.
what was the next question?
Oh no, I was saying how did you handle conflicts? How did you keep your motivation going? What was it? What sometimes people they use spirit, they use God, they use prayer, they use meditation. What is it that keep you going to keep your self confidence so on such high energy, on such an increased level that you can keep that being able to go in and own any room you enter?
At first, dealing with it, I would I would genuinely just breathe,
Mhm.
breathe. Like, I would just let the negative just whatever. Like, I'm not the type of person like to go into conflict. I'm not about to argue. Arguing gets nowhere. So I would just let whatever conflicts, rejection happen because rejections happen. I even knew that back then. So I just try to like, it's gonna be disappointing. That's okay to feel disappointment, but not enough to stop anything going on. So I just really I even had that mentality kind of in the beginning, but it just like grew stronger with the people
Wow.
I would meet, like the situations I would be in. It just grew to the point now I'm just 100% whatever. And then how I keep it, just meditation. It really is meditation.
Hmm.
Prayer really is prayer. Like, just know, pray, asking God, really help me get through this. People are gonna say what they're gonna say. Help me be strong enough to ignore what they're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Push me forward to the right direction. And God knows my heart, and that is enough, I feel like, to help me to lead me to the right direction.
That is beautiful. That is absolutely amazing because it's real important that everything starts with self first. And sometimes people do different things for different reasons. Like you say, it's for the fame, it's for this, and they don't implement self. And what I'm really admiring is how much self love, how much self care that you have within yourself. And that I believe is what when that exuberates, it draws in the power of greatness, the power of your next elevation. So don't stop. Talk to us about the music. Talk to us about the music.
Okay, I love music. Like, oh my gosh. So I remember this day so vividly when I first started. It was me and my best friend, Nay, from Nay and I. We were in the car. We were like, let's just play on a beat. Like, let's just freestyle real quick. Let's see what we can come up with. And we're gonna record it. And we like put on this one beat, and then we like re-listen to the recording. We're like, wait, that actually sounds kind of good. Let's do it again. And we just would just continue to just do more and more and more. And I remember the first time we was like, ooh, let's just go make our first song. The first, this could go back to like conflict. Like the first time we went to make the first song with the producer, it was, people are judgmental. They're gonna say what they want to say. So he didn't think we could like make an actual like
Okay.
song. So we just went back. We were like, okay, let's work hard on this, like hard. So we just sat, worked really hard, went in there and made our first song. It's Never Lack, the Never Lack song that we came out
Yes.
with. Um, went there and he loved it. He loved it. And we were like, what? And then we just listened to that like every day, and that just drove us to just really just keep making music. Like we like, yes, this is fun. It was a great experience making from the first one to now.
Wonderful. And I did see where you and Nate and I opened up for the Pride Fest that was in Milwaukee. So
Yeah.
talk to us about that. Are you advocates of Pride or are you exemplifiers representation? Talk to us about that.
So
And we'll do this in honoring of Pride Month. We know this is Pride Month. So talk to us about that.
that was a really great experience. Like they had we emailed them just trying to see like let's just try to get a this was our first stage performance as well.
Wow.
Yeah, we like let's just try listen to our music, see whatever they say. It's
Yeah.
whatever. And so they emailed us back the same day, like, how about how much you charge? Like what day y'all want to perform? Like, how would this date sound? We like, wait, what? So we're like, yeah, let's do this. So we said we're gonna do June 4th, got it all planned out, got a DJ and everything. And then we end up opening for Pride or becoming the main act for Pride Fest. So
Wow.
I was like, it was really great. And we are both advocates of Pride as well. So we support Pride as well, LGBTQ people.
Awesome. I mean, because when I saw that, I thought, oh, wow, that was good. And once again, you kept all that great energy, all that great energy. And I think it's really important that people do uh, entertain and introduce themselves to a wide variety of genre, wide variety of spectrum of all various kinds of people. And because, back in the day, if you associate yourself with those people, that meant you were one of those people or you were this, that, and the other. Because once again, getting caught up in religion. But I'm glad to see that you and other young people and people like myself have an opportunity where our spectrum is that we appreciate, we love, and we respect all people of who they are and what they choose to do. Because one thing you said earlier, God is sovereign over everything. And so everything is in His hands. So we put our lives in His hands. Let Him do what He wants, and that's what everybody else do. So congratulations and kudos for that
Thank
for
you.
that great opportunity. And once again, you were getting yourself out there and doing more. So where are you? And where is the platform for Nan and I? What are you doing next?
right now we're just making more songs. We've submitted to radio stations now, and we're gonna try to submit to record labels next, just to like see what they would say, their A&Rs, and
Okay.
that's really it. That's our next move, to get radio play, more stage performances, and trying to get signed.
Awesome. And I want to say right here, I want to interject. I want to say congratulations, Nay. We're going to have to create some space. You'll be back next time. Maybe you all could perform for us or something. So, Nay, congratulations. We're going to have you back. All right. So make sure you get that note to Nay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. So it was, I hear you talking about the love of it. Was there ever a point that you felt like you wanted to call it quits? Did it ever become, you know what, I don't know if this is for me. I know this is what I want, this is what I dreamed of, but has there ever come a time on the journey so far that you wanted to call it quits?
No, never.
Awesome. That, oh man, look at those cheesy whites. I love it. I love it. And, you know, and I say it, that sounds absolutely amazing and it's wonderful. And that's why I call your journey phenomenal, because I could see kind of where you were going with that. A lot of times life gives us a whole barrel of lemons, and we sometimes choose not to make the lemonade because, oh, I don't want the sugar, oh, I want strawberries in it, I don't have the strawberries, or what, for whatever reason we prolong making the delicious lemonade. So I really want to congratulate you and admire you for taking every lemon that came your way, because living in Milwaukee, how did you avoid the streets? How did you and especially in the music industry. And we know, as I said before, we see on the news and everywhere people shooting, especially our Black melanin men, shooting, drugging, killing each other, robbing each other, just, leaving women and children to fend for themselves. And I just know that's not the way I think it may have happened in a few situations, but I know that there's so much more greatness. And that's one of the reasons I'm glad that you accepted my invitation, because I wanted to illuminate an area, a set of people, a whole a whole place for our race, to eliminate all the wonderful things. So how did you avoid the streets?
I would say a lot of it really had to do with my parents.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
already know how they
yeah,
are.
right.
They being on me, not they were the type, they were in my business. I ain't never had business.
Okay.
So
So
they would
hold on to that, Ira. So for all you parents out there, when as Ira just said, they were in his business. He didn't have any business. I want us to make sure we really monitor that, because a lot of times that I've had I've had clients, I've had associates, and that was one of the things that they felt like they could be friends with their children to give their children a better way of how they were raised, not to take away from abuse. We're not talking about abuse, but sometimes that good old hard school learning and raising was what kept us with the we had an antenna. Oh wait, if I do this, at these consequences, if I do that, oh mom and dad are gonna get me.
they
But
gonna get me.
yeah, but I've seen so many over the last few generations that seem to yield it from that. So I'm going to let you go back, but I wanted the parents to hear that Ira said his parents he had no business as a
No.
teenager growing up. So yeah, talk about that. Yeah, because we're trying to say, how do we, you staying out of the streets, there has to be another way.
Yeah, it is. And like she said, it's not even abuse. They didn't even whip me. That's the crazy thing. They did not whip me. It was enough just to yell.
Yeah, I'm one of those. Yeah. I didn't
but
get a whooping either. I saw what was happening to my sisters.
it
I
was
saw
like
it.
enough
I'm like,
punishment.
I don't want that. Right? Now I got grounded a lot, but I didn't get a
Yep.
whooping. But yeah, so yeah, you said you didn't have any business. They stayed in your business. Yeah.
And then I was the friends I hung out with.
Okay.
it's always who you hang around as well.
Mm,
Like a lot of people say it's not who you hang around, but who you hang around is basically kind of who you are. Like you
yeah,
only hang
yeah,
around people that like to do the same things you do.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you eliminate hanging around this certain crowd, and you be like, let me just make friends with these type of people,
Hmm.
that eliminates over 50% of the bad things you probably would have did with the bad crowd.
Okay,
And you could have still had a lot in common with the people that's not part of the bad crowd. You just
right.
you have nothing in common with the bad crowd, but just be more trendy, I would say now, more
I
trendy.
got you. Hmm.
So that's how I limited also a lot. And I would say another kind of it wasn't like a huge part, but I would say the high school I also went to,
Okay.
Wisconsin Lutheran, that also I would say kind of steered me away from the violence or negative things that happen in the black community in Milwaukee.
Hmm.
Um, but other, I would say that's really it. But I don't like you said how they have it. Like Milwaukee only has one type of group of black people because Milwaukee, outside of that, there is a large group of black people that are artists,
Yes,
musicians, everything like. And that's only getting highlighted, which is that's probably just kind of like a small part of
yeah.
the greatness that is here.
That's what.
It's
Yeah,
limited.
absolutely. Uh,
And
yeah,
no, you
absolutely.
know, and that's really how I really avoided to get out of that. Like just the friends I chose, just the school I went to, my parents, all
Yeah.
three of those.
Wonderful, because that's a great, those are great ingredients, and I'm trusting that someone that's listening tonight, whether they're young people themselves, and sometimes we can be at crossroads. We want to be popular, we want to, we want to be with the in crowd, we want to, hey, that looks cool, that looks fun, but at some point you have to weigh it out and figure out, is cool and fun going to be safe
Yeah.
and provide a lifelong of abundance for me, or will cool and fun get me short-term temporary satisfaction, long time of headaches, prison, or
Hmm.
death. So I do understand. I remember, just putting in real quick, when my husband and I were in Arkansas, and we moved back. It was when my mom was sick, but my son, they were in, he was in a very affluent school in the Little Rock area, and then when we had to move to the Delta part of the area, there wasn't that much. But my husband and I, he's an avid musician. So what we did, we formed a Men of Tomorrow, a mentoring group. We taught young boys how to play an instrument. And what we realized is that everybody think that if you're not a track star, football star, basketball star, especially
Hmm.
as young boys, then you have nothing. And so I was like, well, something was wrong, but we did. We started a minute ago. We had awesome time. We had 22 boys, and those young men they were playing for the church, and our oldest son ended up being one of the instructors before we relocated to the Oklahoma area. But it turned out to be really, really wonderful, and it was a wonderful shift. And I'm liking what you're saying. You took the artistic shift, because you didn't look at the fact, oh, basketball, football. I didn't hear any athletics, when you were talking. So, most people just kind of look at athletics as being the thing. So, what was that about you and athletics? What was your takings of that?
I try. I really try. I try basketball. I cannot run and dribble at the same time. I'm like, not for me. And then I'm like, oh, let me try baseball. I can even really catch the ball. So I'm like, try track. I was kind of good at running. I'm like, oh, but it wasn't something I could see myself doing forever. And did I really love this? I love the temporary satisfaction of getting first place, but like, I really didn't like the practices. I didn't like running. I didn't like feeling like tired at the end like that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
sports not for me. They were like, but you're gonna do music and stuff. Hey, I'm just gonna do music and stuff.
Right. And look, and that was the thing. That was the thing. That was the point that we were making with the young boys in our community, that just because you don't do sports doesn't mean you have to go to the games, go to that part to be somebody. Music is a second language. Music is a gateway to a huge amount of an abundance. So we took that, and you're absolutely right. Music does so much for the soul. And one thing about the frequency we were talking about, the vibrations, it's something about music that does something to soothing the parts of our body, the parts of our soul, the parts of our mind. And it's a place that once you go there, once you finally get there, you be like, man, why wasn't I here all the time? You know?
Right. I, all the time. It just takes one little try.
Yeah.
They because
So
we're not
did
trained.
so getting to your goals, I see that you were highly impacted. What kept you on goal? Did you use an activity board? Did you have a calendar, a big wall? What kept your goals in front of you?
Um, honestly, just thinking about it every day. That just kept
Okay.
me going every day. Like I want to make this happen. Like,
Mhm.
and I just knew I would every day I would just say, I'm never gonna stop no matter what nobody say. I'm just gonna keep
Wonderful.
going, keep trying. No's, just keep trying, no matter
That's
what.
it. That's it. Oh wow, that is absolutely amazing. So, and I was going to ask you of all your years, what was your most favorite, your least favorite? I see that your most favorite was just finding you and discovering that music was your life. What were
Mhm.
some of the parts that you recognized maybe early on or maybe through your stages of your journey that you found that, you know what, this is really not me, or I really don't like this? Or what was it about yourself that you weren't able to like or deal with? And when you discovered it, how did you deal with that?
Okay, for music,
Anything in your life.
anything. I would say okay for sports. I'll use that example.
Okay.
I was I remember like a specific time I was just running like for track and everything, and I'm just like I just stopped. It was raining, it was cold. I'm like, this is not for me. Like I just had that in the back of my life. I'm gonna finish this year, but I just know this is not for me. And I'm the type of person when something's not for me, I ain't gonna force it.
All
It's
right.
either for me or it's not. So
Yeah.
after I just told myself that, I was just like, I'm done. And maybe I just because I like mentally just check out after that point when I just be like, I'm
Hmm.
done. So so yeah, I just like mentally when I'm I just mentally just not really just giving my all no more. And when I not give my all, I just eventually just stop.
Right. So you had in the back of your mind, after this year, this is it. So
Hmm.
you had that in the back of your mind. But the day that you decide, you know what, I'm running this code, forget this. Was that before or after the giving yourself the year?
Um, that was after. No, no, no. That you said the was it before the year for music?
Yeah, no, before, okay, you had said in your mind, I'll give it a year, I'll give it a year, I'll give it a year. So the day that you were actually running and you decided this is it, was that before you realized that this was it, or was that an afterthought after you finished? And when you were running and you said, forget this, did you run first and realize this is it? I said I was going to give myself a year. How did that go? And
Um,
and the reason I'm asking is because people set a lot of times we set goals, and sometimes we set goals prior to the actual task taking of that goal. And so, you know, I'm real interested in how you came to that. This is it. I can't take no more because I want to go somewhere with that.
I would say it was before a little. I
Okay.
would say like I always kind of knew sports was not something I loved. Like it was already like I already had the feeling, but I was just like I like doing it. It's fun to do. So I mean, I'm gonna do it,
Mhm.
but I already kind of knew before like this isn't something I want to do. Then that day happened. I'm like, yep, that's 100%. I know I'm not. It's not something I want to do.
So you
So
quit that day, or did you continue on?
I continued on. I
Okay,
think yeah.
you continue on, but that you can. And so that's where I wanted to get with this. A lot of times we push ourselves for one reason or the other. We push ourselves in a career, in a situation, in a lifestyle because either our parents wanted us to be, our friends are doing it, we want to be, or, I want to make it popular with the girls. I want to do, want to be that sports buff or whatever. But then a lot of times when we know what's in our heart, to know what's our passionate thing is, we won't give us that our checkout time. And it's when we don't do the checkout that we become overstressed over whatever. And it's those times that I think that we tend to engage in the extracurricular. Okay, I'm a drink to kind of pacify. I really don't want to be here, but I'm here because my mom and my dad want me to play sports. Or, take some drugs or whatever, because you're like, this will help me deal with while I'm trying to figure this out. But I'm hearing you. And so it seems like checking out when it's time to check out is the best therapy that you can do when
Yep.
going through stuff.
Yep. I would say, if anyone's going through something, like when you know in your heart something is not for you, I would just say change. Like we change. Nothing is permanent. We're here for an experience, and nothing is permanent for what we do. So you can be 50 and you don't want to do it no more. Change. You can be 20. You don't want to do it no more. Change. It is just when you get that mental note,
Yeah.
I am done. Like this is not for me. Don't put yourself through the depression and suffering of going still doing that every day, because you're just going to
Yeah.
bring yourself down more and more.
Wonderful. Absolutely great advice. I think that's some of the best advice that's so resounding from a young person who's going through the trenches of the social media aspect, the social platform aspect, where you're wanting to have such a high resemblance and want to be seen in the exposure, but you want to make sure that it's all for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I appreciate that. That's really, really, really good. So, if we were to look at um, Nay and yourself, so are you? And I'm one. I know people are out there wondering, are you and Nay an item?
No, she's just my best friend. We've been
Okay.
like friends since middle school.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome. That's real good. Sometimes your best lovers are better friends first. So, you just never know. So I just asked. So what's your love life like?
um, it's complicated right now. So I'm just leave it that complicated.
Okay, okay, complicated. Long as there are no entanglements,
Oh, don't take them in here.
okay, but no, but great. Hey, believe it or not, when you're young and you have an opportunity to truly explore, exploring yourself first, and then the being the best you that you can be, will definitely compel that union of who it is that you're supposed to be with. And you just know it's not anything that you have to force. It's not anything you have to strategize, not anything you gotta beat around the bush, and it just happens. So I know when that love happens for you, you'll be in a place where you can respect it, honor it, and just embrace it and live it to its fullest. So I'm just lifting you and whoever when that time comes. But like I said, right now, hey, enjoy life. Life is such a jewel. And I think it's just being able to keep that jewel polished at all times. Sometimes if a jewel's set in one place too long, dirt will come on. You got to polish it off. If sometimes you wear it for so long and then you have to polish it because it does. So I just really like the way that you are polishing your jewel. I mean, you are really putting in the work, as you say. A lot of people say good things don't happen unless you work at it. So it looks like you're putting in the work.
Mhm.
Let's just take a moment to Hollywood before we get out of here.
Okay.
So just imagine your life being put on the big screen. You already say, hey, you love modeling, you love the music industry, you're out. So imagine your life in Hollywood. Who would you want to cast as your lead and why?
For my own life.
Yes.
Ooh. Honestly, right now I don't even have any actors in mind. Like
Okay.
I don't even think I. Hmm. I don't have any actors in mind. That's crazy.
Uh,
I,
well, here's the innovative part. If you don't have any actors in mind, why not play yourself?
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I would think I would want to just play myself. Like, yeah, just play myself and narrate throughout the whole thing. Different things that
Absolutely.
happen.
All right, sounds good. So, look like there may be a bio documentary coming in the way. Who knows? I
Maybe.
mean, because why wait? I just don't think people need to wait until people pass on, and then you get this big expose about who they were and what they did. I just feel like, hey, let's bring to light who they are, where they are, what they're doing now, so that not only they can appreciate it, but that someone else can gravitate to it and receive from it and then at a better time. All right, that sounds good. So I don't think that anything is that your dog.
Yes, he like busted the rule. Oh,
That's fine.
yeah, we're good.
So what's your dog's name?
Bentley.
Bentley. Okay,
Yeah.
you want to bring Bentley to the screen, or is he
Mm,
too big?
he big. Come on. Oh, you old. Oh yeah. Come here. Oh, come on.
Oh, hi Bentley. Oh, Bentley look like he's your best friend. They may have some competition.
He got some competition. The CBI.
Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you know what? It has been an absolute joy to speak with you, to share with you, just to hear all the wonderful things that you're doing. And if there was anything that someone could gain from your story, what would it be? And why are you willing to share your story with the masses?
Oh, one thing I would say I want anyone to take out of this is follow your dreams. Don't let nothing stop you. Follow your heart. Do what makes you happy because we we really only have one chance. It's sad to say we only have one chance, and you don't want to live your life regretting things you could have did when you know you could have did it back then.
Right.
You don't want to wait. Live your best life now and follow your dream.
I like it. Live your best life now and follow your dreams. Because if you don't follow your dreams, they're going to end up in the cemetery.
In the
And that's
cemetery.
such a waste, such a waste, such a waste. So, Ira, we know that we are anxiously awaiting your runway review at our family reunion here
Okay.
in Texas. So we are excited about that. And so, do you have anything that's going on within the next few weeks?
Yeah. So in July 10th, I'm gonna be in the Indie Fashion Show. It's
Okay.
they're the world's largest independent traveling fashion show. They go from to New York, LA, Detroit, Milwaukee,
Wow.
like all the big cities, and they just have big shows.
And
And
so, how will we be able to see you? Will it be televised, or how will that be?
I, I'm I'm pretty sure it's only you have to go see in person. I don't think they
Okay.
have it playing on Zoom. I do have the link for a
Okay.
ticket. It's on my Facebook and my Instagram. And my
Okay.
Instagram is the real Ira H. And you'll be able to it'll be in my bio. You'll be able to click
Okay.
the bio. And it's July 10th.
Okay. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Indie Fashion Show. That's wonderful. That's July 10th.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And so I'm looking at areas of total excitement. I'm looking at areas that I am so glad to be able to say that we represent well. And a lot of people look at artists and at rappers and with the negative connoissance, but I'm looking at you and you all represent the genre very well. I'm very excited because in a world full of drama, trauma, chaos. it's important that love is shown within our communities.
It is.
And I love the fact that you are exemplifying the love of who you are. You're sharing that love with the arts, and the arts is sharing it with our communities. And I think it's really important that our melanin young children can see melanin in such great success as yourself. I want to say, please continue. Do you do any volunteer or do any children programs or activities to show young people how to model, show them pieces of the art, or do you have anything like that going on in the making?
Um, I I don't have it in the making, but I have recently been helping like models and like younger models model walk. So
Okay.
I do it for free. I don't charge anything just because it's fun to do. But maybe I could make that to like something like helping the youth. If they want to learn how to model, I can just start give them tips from where I am from and just where
Okay.
they can build.
Awesome, awesome. I think that would be a great thing, just to for our young people to see young people at work and young people just doing great things, doing great things. We are absolutely astonished of what you're doing. We're absolutely proud of you. We admire you and your strength, your tenacity, to keep it going, to keep it moving, and most importantly, we thank you for taking pride in being who you are and living life unapologetically. It is
Mhm.
important that we know who we are. It is important that we feel the love and give the love. Love is so underrated, and
It
it's
is.
so and it's underrated and it's overwhelmed. And I think everybody have their own love, and I think it should be customized. So
Yep.
I appreciate you for taking that time to customize love in such a way that it comes through in the form of art. And it's such a wonderful form of art. So we see what's on the radar for you, and we're so proud of you. So once again, give us your handles. Tell us where people can find you. How can you be hired out? What does it look like if we wanted to hire Ira to be a fashion model? We wanted him to do a fashion show or whatever. We're in Texas. Someone else may be in Washington. Someone else may be in Illinois. How do we get access to Ira, and what can you offer um in that fashion?
So you can find me on Facebook at Ira Harvey. You can find me on Instagram at the real Ira H. And to get in contact with me about any like anything you guys might have going on, my email is iraharvey10@gmail.com. And that's really all the platforms. And even if you have an Instagram and you just want to send me a DM, you can just send me a DM there or even a message on Facebook. Either one.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm excited. I see great things happening. I can see perhaps you could do a master class on, just the confidence of knowing who you are and how to model, things of that nature. So keep it going, expand, 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 keep leveling up. Don't ever stop, keep soaring. Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing. I absolutely love what you're doing.
Thank
I'm one of those Maya Angelou fans. And my signature quote for Maya Angelou is, if you're always trying to be normal, you will never know just how amazing you can be. And I'm glad
you.
that you're being amazing, Ira. Looking forward to bringing you and Nate back at another time. Perhaps you all can do a song or whatever. But we're so glad to have you. Thank you for joining us on tonight. And if what else do you want us to know? Is there anything else you want to leave with the masses on tonight?
Oh, yeah. So I'll be in a movie coming out next year.
Wow.
It's gonna be called Corridor, and I'll be
Oh,
posting more about it coming up when it's getting close to release.
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
See, there are things. See, it just keeps coming out. It's like a flower. It just keeps budding, keeps budding, keeps budding. Awesome. So once again, we're so proud of you. We want to thank you for taking our time to share with us, to share with the masses, and just know that every dream is a dream until it's put into action. Once
Literally
it's put into action, it becomes life. So
life.
give your dream life today. Thank you for sharing your dream. Thank you for sharing your life. And we trust that everything today has helped somebody along their way.
I hope. I hope
Oh,
so.
yeah. Thank you so much. Once again, we're celebrating young people who are defying the odds, beating out all the odds, knowing that regardless of your situation, where you are, your place, your state, your demographics, your situation you're born in, you were born to win. So we're going to say good night. Thank you again, Ira. You have yourself a great evening, and we look forward to you coming back.
All right. Thank you. Me too. I had so much fun being a part of this. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Lee.